All right. Good day, everyone. Good day. Good day. And thank you for tuning in to the Truth to Freedom podcast. This is real talk for real people. And we thank you for joining us today. My name is James Parker, and I'm joined today by my awesome co-host, Mr. Quentin Williams. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Everything is great, sir. It's a beautiful day here. We haven't gotten blown away by no tornadoes or anything, so it's all good. So,
It's good.
but our prayers do go out for those that were affected. Those storms were like back to back, uh, all through the Midwest. So our prayers go out to those families, and we pray that they can recover and continue to move forward.
Yes.
So, before we get started, if you are tuning in on whatever platform, we ask that you share, like, leave a review because it helps also people like yourself find this podcast, as it puts it out in the algorithms and things of that nature. So we ask that you do that for us. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and help support this podcast so that it can go out to the masses. And we really would appreciate that. All right. So let's get started today because my man, Mr. Quentin Williams, he sent a uh, YouTube excerpt, and it was talking about how the U.S. is destroying young people's future. So we're going to have a discussion about that. So go ahead, take it away, Mr. Quentin.
All right. So the video I found on YouTube is actually a TED Talk uh, video, and the speaker, his name is Scott Galloway. He's a clinical professor of marketing at the New York or at NYU School of Business. He's an entrepreneur, and he has a MBA from Berkeley School of Business. So his talk is pretty interesting, and it falls right in line with our podcast and some of the things that we've talked about as far as housing, higher education, just overall satisfaction socially. People are.
Okay.
He has some very good ideas. I feel like I don't even know where we can start at because they're really good ideas.
Yeah,
Let
let's
me
take it to
see.
the start. Let's start from the top. We'll work our way there.
All right. So his early slides, one of the early ones, he talks about he uses himself as an example.
Uh-huh.
Let me find it because I saved it. So he talks about himself. In 1987, he was at UCLA, and the average admissions rate at that time was 27%. Now he's comparing it to 2022, which is 6%. College debt as a percentage of first year income in 1987 was 31%. 2022 is 53%.
Oh, wow.
And he goes in on his talk and explains how these things happen. And he says that it's purposeful. It wasn't an accident. Uh, he kind of blames his generation for stealing the wealth from the younger generation.
Yeah, because you would think something that is promoted like education, uh, as years go by, it becomes more unattainable because of cost, tuitions, and just overall trying to even get in. They just kept pushing it higher and higher. That at the point, people look at it like why should I even try?
Yeah.
It's not. I can't. It's not for me.
Yep. And one thing he says that I really like, he says that higher education is about taking unremarkable kids and giving them a shot at being remarkable.
That's a good saying. I can agree with that.
And so he calls it an LVMH strategy. I'm not really sure what that means. I hadn't had time to look it up, but he explains it. He says that uh, there's artificial constraints on supply to create scarcity
Mm-hmm.
so that they can raise tuition faster than inflation. And the same thing has been done with housing. He says that 60% of the cost to build a house goes to the permits. And so it locks regular people out.
Well, I mean, this look at how current conditions are now. Um, something that might have cost, say, we'll just say $150,000. Most average cost for a house back maybe 5, 7 years ago, $150,000. That same house, that same square footage might run you anywhere from 350 and up.
Yep.
That same house, that same square footage that might have cost you 150 several years ago is now going to cost you 350 and up. And that's just on the low end.
Yeah.
Because I know even for us, we paid three something to get in our home. Now they got it up almost at $600,000. That don't do us any good because people are like, oh wow, that no, no, because what comes with that is the taxes,
Yep.
property taxes, everything goes up. So now you end up paying more on the property tax than what the house is actually. No, it's not good, people. It's not good at all.
Yep. Yep. He also had some statistics on housing too. He compared it to 2019 during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So February 2019, the median mortgage was $1,102. February 2024 is $2,310. Homes went from 290K to 420K.
Wow. Yep. That's just what we are just talking about. And I know we was having a conversation. So I think a lot of people they get frustrated, but they have to understand that this is all manipulated. This ain't really got nothing to do with inflation because all of it is constructed to how they manipulate the market because these people influence what's going to go up and what's going to
Yeah.
go down. And so we look at it as, just ordinary folks. And we're thinking, because they're telling us inflation, the index, the Fed is going to raise what's the rate they always keep raising or lowering?
Interest rate.
Yeah, they keep, talking about they're going to raise it. They want to stimulate, uh, the economy and all this other stuff. To be honest, I don't know what they talking about. The economy is stimulated because every time I'm out, people are out buying stuff and and spending money. I see new
Right.
cars floating up down the road all the time. So I don't know what they mean when they say they want to stimulate the economy. People are spending money. Um, they're spending it. So I don't understand their concept behind it. Maybe you can give me a better explanation.
Well, no, I mean, I agree with you. And, we always, the minimum wage. If you pay people more money, I mean, the money goes right back into the economy. So, I mean, you pay people enough to live. Um, they're just, I mean, they're gonna buy more food. I mean, they're gonna go out more. They're gonna go to the movies. They're gonna buy cars. They're gonna buy clothes. It goes right back to the economy. So, I don't feel like anybody is losing anything.
Well, that's not what the experts say. The experts say totally different. But you're right. I mean, the average American, when they have money in hand, will spend it. They will spend it, and but that's because I think too we haven't we we as a society, it's like it's in pockets. So you do have a certain portion of society that do teaches uh wealth building, generational wealth and things of that nature. You do have a certain segment that teaches that, but they don't spread it. They hold it for themselves. It's like this is big secret. And so you have the
Yeah.
majority of population that all they know is they make it and they spend it. They make it and they spend it. And hopefully one day they'll make it to retirement. Um, and then some do plan for retirement, some don't. And some people end up working until they drop dead, really. Um,
Yeah.
and then some do make it a retirement, but due to cost, inflation, cost of drugs, and hospitalization and things of that nature, because once you get older, if you haven't taken care of yourself, you're going to be you're going to have health issues that are going to now need medication, care, whatever the case might be, and these costs are now out the roof. And so now, in your time of your twilight years, you're supposed to be enjoying retirement. No, you have to go back to work because you can't afford the medication that you are on. And so the whole blueprint to how this should work is not being explained, if you understand what I'm saying. It's not being explained because if we were teaching people how to really survive in this economy, like teaching our young folks when they get out here, open up an RA. If you don't do nothing but put $20 in it, open up an RA. Let me show you how much that $20 is going to be worth to you when you turn about 40 or 50 years old. We don't we live in well, as you know, we live in a now generation. We live in a generation that is demanding, I need it now, I want it now, give it to me now. And there's no thought into long-term uh long-term planning. Even though there's a lot of stuff out there teaching that, there's a lot of programs, but as a culture, we just don't gravitate toward that. It's like I gotta have the latest and greatest now, and we'll worry about the future later. And then the future comes, and then we're not ready, and then we're scrambling, trying to make up the difference. And we just need to change. We need to change that thought process.
No, I agree. Absolutely. It's these everybody wants a get rich quick scheme. There's another guy that I follow, he's a book writer. And he says that if you walk into the bookstore, you'll see books that'll tell you how to make $1 million in a day. And right beside it, yep, you make $1 million in a day. And next to that book in the bookstore is teaching you is self-help, helping you cope with low self-esteem. But that also goes back to our society and our culture being very individualistic
Well, I
with
mean,
success and failure. So
yeah. Well, and you know what? That goes into that conversation we had earlier. So, folks, we were we were having a conversation at work when we was talking about how our Hispanic brothers and sisters, how they help one another. And I mean, people give them grief, but we're talking about people that can come over here and they adapt, they learn, they'll come work for you and learn all about your business. And then they'll go get them a truck and do the same thing. And sometimes do it a lot better. And so I was saying how we was talking about how you better be careful because they are going to be running things. They already are, but they really going to be running things because out in the Midwest from Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, you have a lot of uh, offices, governors, mayors, city council. Um, they're Hispanic. They're moving. They're doing things while we're sitting here complaining and running around the streets hollering and screaming about whatever. These people are getting educated. These people are growing. These people are trying to take advantage of the so-called quote unquote American dream. But we as a society, we don't do that. We rather watch you waddle in the dirt. You think we're going to invite you over to our house come live with us while you get on your feet, and we'll work together, and we'll pay the rent together, and we'll get you on your feet. And then when everybody's at a certain level, we'll get you a house, and then we'll get the next person a house, and we'll keep growing, and then we'll bring some more people in, and we'll help them get on their feet. That is not our mentality. Unfortunately, it's sad, but that is not our mentality. And that thought process really needs to change.
Yep. No, I agree. Um, Speaking of working together, uh, that's one way we're going to change the political and social landscape, as we've done before in history. Anytime people get together and they organize, things happen and things change. So, you know, uh, people being angry and protesting, I get it, I understand, but we also have to build organizations that can actually combat the pre-existing power structure if we want things to really change.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that because, and I've always said this: if you want to see change, you got to get the old regime out, all of them. You got to clear the deck, and you, like you said, you can protest and be angry, but if there's no direction in what you're trying to do to organize, create, and evolve to change the power structure, because we still got a lot of dinosaurs in charge. That, just be honest, we got a lot of people that got old ways of thinking. They got self. They got whatever. It ain't about helping the American public. Only time they ever talk about helping the American public is like right now. It's election time, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna hear all kind of good promises. You might even get a few trinkets thrown your way. It's election time. They do it every time when it's time to get elected. But once the election is over, the dust has settled, and everybody has gone back to wherever, we go right back into the same routine. And that has to change. Our whole way of thinking has to change in order to, like you said, make effective change.
Yep, absolutely.
And I mean, and you said this before, and it, you know, Bernie Sanders, um, why he never got the support that he should have got, I don't know. Um, we have a lot of qualified people out there in the political arena that can do us some good, but for some reason, they just do not get the support they should be getting. And that falls back on money because money runs everything. That's why the NRA is able to get what they want through the political party because their lobbyists that lobbies for them have a endless supply of money. You know, the NRA is probably one of the biggest organizations out there that they can lobby to get laws passed in their favor. Now, of course, they'll say, hey, that's not how it works. We don't, but it's true. It's how they influence. They influence the politicians by backing them, and in turn, they try to create policies that will favor gun laws. That's unfortunately that's how the program works. But like you said, we need to organize to affect change to change that culture.
Yep. I mean, we have a few examples in history. You can look at the civil rights movement. You can look at how we got the New Deal. It was people,
Mm-hmm.
they were organizing as they were protesting, and as they were protesting, they had very specific demands, and I mean they got them met. So I don't think it's impossible. Even the midterms with Joe Biden, the promise is the midterms when there was 100,000 people that voted non-committed. The next week, he came on saying they was gonna build a port in Gaza so the Palestinians can get relief. So,
So that tells you right there.
yep, it's possible.
So yeah, because even like with uh the protesting that's going on now, these these students, they all this uprising. I guess my thing is, you over here protesting, the fight is over there. So my thing is, y'all need to get on a plane and and fly over there and protest because I don't think these colleges are going to be able to do a whole lot over here.
No. Um, so I saw something, and one of the universities had dropped, or they backed all the way out from Israel. And I forget which one it is, but at the time it was the only one that did it. I think that's what the other kids want at the school. I mean, they're putting a lot of stuff in jeopardy, their careers, they could be banned from the school or whatever.
Right.
And they want them to back away from supporting Israel.
Well, I mean, what do they want from Israel? This isn't nothing new. This
No, it's
war's
not.
this war's been going on for decades. Decades this war been going on.
It's the 40s. I think 1948 is when it started.
So I mean, what do you want? Biblical prophecy is probably coming to pass. They've been fighting over this one little piece of land
Yeah,
for I don't know how long. They've been fighting. It's their destiny. So they might as well just go ahead and fight, get it over with. Somebody's going to take it.
yeah,
And at the end of the day,
yeah.
ain't
Well,
ain't nobody going to own it anyway, because at some point all this is going to be a moot point. Because if everybody believes in what they believe in, at some point Jesus is coming back to reclaim the earth. So when he does that, there won't be nothing left. Whatever we're fighting over, we won't have to fight over it no more. So I guess it's like, is it worth the deaths? Is it worth everybody's life over this? Because at some point it's not going to be a hill of beans anyway. And I guess that's just with
no,
life in
no, I
general.
agree.
I mean, that's just life in general. I mean, we waste more time accumulating stuff and we let the world dictate stuff. Again, people, if you're listening, you've been lied to. You've been lied to about a lot of stuff. And you really need to do the research and you really need to dig deeper in what they're saying on the surface because it's not supposed to be this way. Nobody should have to struggle through life the way people have to struggle. Have you looked at your homeless population lately? Have you seen how many people are sleeping on benches and out in tents? I mean, we literally have tent cities everywhere because these people can no longer afford housing. And yet, these people can sit up in Congress and fight and argue over nothing that has nothing to do with anything that's not going to help nobody fix any of the problems that we have. And yet y'all sit there and y'all listen and y'all agree and y'all applaud and it just keeps going on and on and on. But at some point, all this is going to come to a head. And who knows, one day we may have a civil war here, right here in America, because that's how divided we are.
Yep, I agree. That's a that's a lot of people's fears with this election. I think it's a bad situation if Trump wins or loses. Because if he loses, I mean, what are the people that follow him going to do? We have more guns in America than we do civilians.
Well, that, and see, that's what I was saying. All the situations that we have that they say is an issue, they can be solved, but they don't want to solve
Oh
them.
yeah,
Just like with the wall. That's been an issue for who knows how long. If they want to fix it, they can fix it. Same with drugs, same with everything else. But they don't want to fix it because this is what they use when it comes time for politics and elections. This is what they bring up. Oh, we have this overwhelming drug problem. Now it's uh what's the thing now kids are dying off of it, dying from whatever it is that they're dying from. This ain't no issue. This is what they're letting flow
COVID
out.
or RSV.
Huh?
Was it? What were you saying? Was it COVID or RSV you were talking about?
No, I was asking, what's the drug now that young folks are dying from? Kids and what they're getting in candy and all this other stuff. I forget the name of it. I don't know. Anyway, y'all know what it is. And
Fentanyl,
there you go. Thank you. Fentanyl. That's it.
opioids.
There you go. Thank you. That's it. They can stop it.
Okay,
They don't want to stop it. But that's where we're at now.
pretty
So
bad.
yeah, it's bad. And that's what I'm saying. It's bad. But How bad does it got to get before somebody do something about it? You know, we have more organizations out here that claim that they're for, I don't know, the rights of America, but it seems like the rights don't never get fixed. I mean, from Black Lives Matter to whatever, the Proud Boys, you could all these different organizations, but yet nothing never gets fixed. They yell, they scream, they protest, they march, they do this, they do that. They go on talk shows and they talk and they talk and they talk, but nothing never gets fixed. Nothing. And so
Yeah.
at this point, like you said, when are we gonna have effective change? Like true change, long lasting effective change. What will it take? I don't know. You got the answer to that? What will it take?
No, I don't have an answer. I mean, it's bad now, so if it's getting any worse, then I don't know.
I mean, even where we work at, we can't even get nobody to come to work. Can't there's nobody working. We don't know where the people are at. Where are they doing? How are these people surviving? Nobody's working,
Yeah.
you know. I don't get it. You go into a store and half the work staff is over 60.
Yep.
Um, there's something wrong with that. I don't get that. It's something wrong with it. Kids go to school and at 8 years old they got PTSD. Something's wrong with that.
Yep.
Our
Yep.
schools have become a battleground. Something is wrong, but nobody would do anything. And so here we are. So, people, that's why we started this. Truth to freedom. If you want to get to freedom, you better start talking about this stuff. And I don't mean talking about it in a political sense uh, of catchphrases and talking points. We're past that. You need to start having some real conversations on how we're going to fix this. That means y'all better start going down to your uh, city council meetings. Hey, go to your homeowner association meetings. You need to go to all of them. And you need to start letting your voices be heard and stop just sitting down and letting the things just keep going by. Get involved, start talking, organize, and get this stuff done. And stop following the parties because the death days are over. No more Republican and no more Democrat. It's just individual thought, individual wisdom, and keep it on the level that what we say we're going to do. What I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do it, and not just make a bunch of promises just to get in office. If I tell you I'm going to fight for whatever uh, abortion rights, then you get in there, and every time I see you on TV when they're having their meetings at the in the Congress chambers, where they having their discussion, that's all I should hear come out your mouth about abortion rights. You might not get far, but at least I know you're fighting. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, to an extent, we are complicit because, like you said, most people follow parties, and we don't hold these people accountable. When Joe Biden and Trump was running, I mean, they were the two most unpopular candidates probably in history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted either one of them. But the argument was to vote for Joe Biden and push him left. Left meaning that he passed the social policies that actually help people, increase the minimum wage, you know, stuff like that. But he got in, he didn't do anything. So what's this? There are people that keep saying vote blue no matter who. Nothing changes though. And it's like, and people can see it doesn't change, and people like Trump become even more and more popular.
Yeah, I know. I know. And I know some people they like Trump because they say they like his policy. Well, that's all well and good. But you can have great policy. But if you're a butthole, I mean, what does good policy mean? When you can't you can't unite the public. You can't unite America. You keep America divided, but you have good policies. Well, your good policy is not going to do anybody no good if everybody's at odds at one another. If everybody's against one another, what is a
Yeah.
good policy? Good policy don't mean jack. But
No, and if we really look at it, his policies weren't even that great. It's just
Mhm.
that he did just a little bit more for people than the last few presidents, and so he looks better. But internationally, when he got elected on an international level, other countries they started pulling back from America. You know, he's a failed businessman. Now you looking at people who these other presidents of these countries who actually care about their countries. You think they want to do business with somebody like that?
No, no.
I mean, we got BRICS now. We got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America have all formed a coalition, BRICS, and they're still adding more countries to it to undermine the American dollar because they don't trust America. Because
I'm,
America is so big that if we crash, the world crashes with us every time. So they're trying to take that power away because we're crashing, and they don't want to crash with us.
and I can't blame him, especially if you see the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
I don't blame him because, you know, it it's just sad that we're even at this junction of the road because
it is.
the I think back on, like, they don't teach history no more, but uh one of the great chapters in history when I was in history, I love when they talked about the American uh the doggone it, can't even think of the word I'm trying to say. The the industrial revolution, because
Yeah,
that was a period of time of newness, new ideas, growth, and it was just watching America evolve. And at that time, everything was made here in America. And you had the steel companies, you had the coal miners, you had all these different entities that was set around all over the United States that together, that's what made America great. It was that growth, it was that newness, it was that uh breaking new ground, new technology, new evolution. It was the growth because we was coming out of like I ain't gonna say Stone Age time, but we was coming from a depression and really nothing going on to now, uh the guys were coming back from the war. Um they were investing in housing. They were building these white picket fence communities. All kind of
yeah,
stuff was just going on, and we went from that growth to this mess we got now because people got greedy, companies got greedy, and now this is what you're stuck with. Can you fix it?
yep,
You can fix it. It's going to take a lot, but it's going to take people in government to have a backbone to stand up to these companies and tell them, look, if y'all don't want to do business in America, that's fine. But if you're gonna ship anything over here, it's gonna cost you. Because that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're gonna take a company from over here, move it overseas because you can pay those people lower wages because they don't have the laws in place there like we do here that holds you accountable. You can go over there and treat those people any way you want, but then you want to ship that stuff back over here for us to buy. Well, we ain't got no jobs. You took the jobs away when you went over there. So how am I going to buy anything if you don't took the jobs? All the jobs they
yep,
took away. So none of that makes any sense. But again, I think it can be rebuilt. I think we can turn everything around. I think that a lot of things that we used to make here, we could get back to making again. Uh we can do it. But again, it's gonna take some people with backbone that's gonna willing to stand up to some of these corporations because right now you're just fighting money. And that's what
yeah,
wins. You're fighting money. And it's hard to fight money because the one that has the most biggest pockets is they're calling the shots. Sorry, that's who's calling the shots in America. It ain't the X and what it's not the S&P index. It's not the the Standard and Poor, whatever. It's none of that. It's not Vanguard. It's none of that's running. It's the people that got the biggest and deepest pockets. The corporations, the companies, the individuals. That's who's making the decisions in America. So wake up, America. Wake up.
Yep. I agree.
All right, my friend. You got anything else you want to add? We can cut this short.
No, I think we covered everything.
All right, my friend. So, all right, brothers and sisters, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties. I don't know. The internet's not acting right. We got sunspots, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, we'll make sure we edit it and make it all nice and pretty. But we hope you enjoyed it, and we thank you for joining us. And so remember, leave us a rating, a review, and also check us out on YouTube. We have a YouTube page, Truth to Freedom. You can go to our community page and you can leave a comment or whatever you want to leave. Well, if you got a question, we'll answer your question on the next episode. But if you got a comment, we'll read that comment as well. Again, just go to YouTube and go to Truth to Freedom and go to the community tab and you can leave your comment or question there. Again, like, share, leave a review. We appreciate you so much. Quentin, thank you, sir. I enjoyed you today, and you have a great weekend.
You as well.
All right, brothers, we are out of here. Until next time, stay safe, love one another, and we'll see you on the next episode.